you wanna have fun? Fool around someone? 'Cause don't you wanna have fun? Don't you wanna have some fun?
Yeah, his baby said that they don't got a future like it burns. So give him something worse to kill his head with, make him forget somehow. Might be that another day she would have wished he stayed, but they're done. Sorry's won't be enough this time. Yeah, he's calling all his friends to get some action and distract him right now. He's fine, got Lucy on the line, let's get this started. Where's the party tonight? I feel good, nothing weighs me down. I can't believe my luck right now.
Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, you are going to get tons of cleaning motivation, but before I get started, I wanted to mention that this video is sponsored by Squarespace, which is an online platform where you can create your own website or build your own business. But what you're seeing right now is a cute little holiday party that I hosted. Every year I host a little holiday cookie party, meaning that we invite people over and everybody brings cookies and we have like a Christmas cookie competition. So we had an awesome company come and set up some really cute teepees for the kids, and I also made a bunch of festive appetizers. But with 12 adults and more kids than that, my house is pretty much a wreck. And I'm actually surprised it's not worse. So this is a full day Sunday extreme clean where I'm mainly focusing on the living room, the floors, the kitchen, and all of the dishes, as well as the upstairs playroom and all of the toys that are scattered throughout the house. Now, I typically don't get everything done in one day and do like a mass all day clean like I'm going to do today. Usually my videos consist of cleaning over several days, but this morning I woke up and was like, I made some coffee. That's my milk frother, and was like, I am just going to knock it all out. So I started around 9 or 9:30 in the morning, and I believe that I finished around 3:30, but I did take like a lunch break in between, and I think I took a couple breaks in between the process. So I didn't show my watch before I got started, but it was, really close to 0 steps at this time. I ended with over 6,000 steps, which shows just about how much I got done that day. And that's just picking up from the aftermath of hosting a party. I'll also answer a few more questions that you guys had later on in this video, but if you are new here, I am really, really appreciative that you're here. My name is Michelle. I'm a mom of 2 toddlers. Sailor is my 4-year-old and Savannah is my 2.5-year-old. And if you have young kids, then you know that we are in this crazy season of life right now where you just have to somehow embrace the mess, knowing that it's not going to be there forever, or at least not this bad. My channel consists of mainly cleaning and organizing, but sometimes decorating and DIY. The goal of my channel is to inspire you to do the things that inspire you and to be your best self. So let's go ahead and get started in the kitchen. And if you're starting and cleaning along with me, then leave me a comment below and let me know what area you're starting off with.
Right now I'm standing in a corner. I see you from across the room. It's kinda crowded here, but I know you see me too. Everybody's singing oh, everybody's singing oh. I don't know what it is about you. It must be in the way you move. Just say you want me to. We got nothing to lose. You're looking so old. You're looking so old. Now I'm moving closer to you, and it's getting dark in this room.
So the Christmas themed party that we had, I themed it this year the Grinch because my girls are absolutely obsessed with the Grinch for some reason. So I made these like sugar Grinch cookies, and then I could not find, you're supposed to put like a little heart on there, like a candy heart, and I could not find candy hearts anywhere. So I used a red M&M, and I guess they only come out with those hearts during Valentine's Day, but I typically don't win. Oh, there's the cookies. I typically don't win the cookie party since I host it, but all of the kids eat and then they vote on whoever has the best cookie. I got the idea because my mom used to do like cookie exchanges with her friends. She would always bake holiday cookies. And then, with my friends, I was like, let's get together and do a competition. So we are on year, I want to say it's like the 4th year that we've been doing this. And just a few years ago, I also made it a pajama party. So that's why we're still in our pajamas and we're picking up this morning. One cool thing I got from Target was this princess advent calendar. And it comes with 15 pairs of princess socks. And I've mentioned before that we love Disney. So every day the girls are so excited to open up and put a new pair of princess socks on me. So they brought that out while I was cleaning, and that's what we're doing real quick. So now here comes the dishes. So what I do is just pile everything near the sink, and then I get started cleaning. What I didn't realize when I got started was that our dishwasher was already almost full. So I had to run a cycle, but I am cramming things in there, trying to get as much in there as possible. And then most of our Christmas stuff I will end up hand washing. So what I did was I put everything aside that I was going to hand wash and then tried to shove and cram as much stuff in the dishwasher as I could before I ran the first cycle.
Baby, let me love you, let me love you, let me love you, let me love you, baby, let me love you, let me love you, let me love, let me love, let me love you. Let me love you.
Every night I'm going on the grid, texting back, I want you, hit you up, I'm on the other side, I miss you, miss you. Take you off, I came here way too strong, cannot keep it low key. Got me drugged, your pheromones hit the roof.
So we typically do entertain and host a lot. Chris has a pretty big family that all lives close by, and a lot of times we just have everyone over on the weekends, or I always try and host and throw different types of parties, maybe seasonal events and stuff. I did get to a point one time where I told Chris, my husband, I don't want anybody over for a whole month. I am tired of cleaning up, because you have to clean before you host, and then you have an aftermath of having to clean after you host as well. So there has been a few times there where I'm I just can't do it. I can barely keep up with the mess that my kids make, much less 25 people in the house at one time. But the thing is that I do like hosting, and it is convenient to just be home because you don't have to drive. You don't have to worry about anything. You're in your own place. It's just give and take, right? You do sacrifice having to do all of the cleaning afterwards. Let me know in the comments below, do you typically feel the same way? Do you like hosting and having people over, or do you typically go somewhere so you don't have to worry about the mess?
And you're off my radar now, I've lost you, telling you that I need you, but you're off my radar now. I'm like an outcast from pillar to post, there's no denial, I'm chasing ghosts. I'm like an outcast from pillar to post, hitting you up but I'm stuck on hold. Is it really a bad?
So it's so hard to think that January in 2022 is literally just weeks away. I feel like this year has flown by. But in one of my videos for this month, I talked about the importance of goal setting and setting realistic, attainable, focus-driven, and very specific goals. 70% of people do not write down their goals, and let me tell you, the power of writing down your goals and setting those micro goals for yourself can really drive you to take action and actually accomplish the things that you set for yourself. Now, one thing that I have heard some of my friends say before is that they would love the opportunity to start something on the side or create their own business, something that they're really passionate about. I've mentioned lots before that I started off in the social media world after Facebook and Instagram was with a blog. Which leads me to mention that Squarespace is actually a platform to be able to build your own business, build your own online presence, sell your own products, or even create a blog. You don't have to be like super techie or like into all these website builders because they have ready-made award-winning templates that you can use, and all you have to do is customize it to your site. They offer powerful analytics where you can gain insights about your site visitors and how they interact with your content, or also blogging tools where you can categorize, share, and schedule your posts. You can first head to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/Michelle O'Malley to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain.
I've been feeling so small. Watch the clock ticking off the wall. But tonight I'm letting it go. Spend my coin for sure. I'm gonna be myself, or I could be someone else. No one's stopping me now. I'm gonna skip my breaks. I'm gonna make mistakes. I just wanna feel alive. It's just what I do when I'm out, so try not to hold me down. Feel alive when I'm in this town. Look at those beautiful stars. I wanna drive a faster car. Nothing can break me. No, no, nothing can break me. Try not to hold me down.
I asked you guys a couple weeks ago about questions of things that you want to hear more on my channel, questions that you may have had for me, or anything that I can talk about that would be helpful for you. Obviously, you can always leave me a question and ask me anything at any time, but I did receive one comment that I wanted to go into a little bit of detail about. But before I get started with that, I just wanted to mention that my floors are an absolute mess. We had people in and out from the backyard all night long, so there's like grass and every dirt and everything all over the rug and also all over the wood floor. So we moved the coffee table out of the living room because we had the teepee set up, and they had just came and took the teepees down, and now my goal is to get the floors clean. So before I put up our Christmas tree in like early November, I had shampooed the carpet, the rug in the living room, and I don't do that very often. This rug is actually very, very thin. It was a lot thinner than I expected, but I do have a rug pad underneath. I had gotten it over the summer, and I had never shampooed it because I thought it might ruin it because it is so thin. But right before I put up our Christmas tree, I did shampoo it for the first time, and it did a pretty good job. And because there was like dirt on the carpet, there was also spilt milk that was dried up, and it was actually hard, and it was right by where the couch is. I decided, since we have the coffee table out of the living room, that I would just go ahead and do a quick shampoo on this rug before I put everything back. We use the Bissell Pet Pro carpet shampooer. So we got this at Walmart several years ago. I had told Chris one time that we needed to get a really, really good carpet shampooer, mainly for our rugs, mainly for this living room rug or whatever living room rug that we have. I probably went through several because we have dark floors, so I tend to put like lighter colored rug to make the room, look bigger and brighter. So with that, with having and committing to a light colored rug, then obviously, you're just going to have to expect discoloration and dirt and dust when you have a dog and 2 toddlers. So it works really well. I like it. You can control the amount of water that comes out. So you click the button, it squirts out water, and then you vacuum up the water that comes out. So you can kind of control that. And I typically don't have a lot of water come out, only because the rug is pretty thin and I don't want the water kind of seeping through. So as I was shampooing, the front piece comes apart so that you can clean it. And when I picked up the vacuum and put it back, the whole top piece came out. So it takes me a minute to figure out how to put it back together, but eventually I got it.
6:30 in the morning, you wake me up to have a conversation and inform me about how I make you feel inside. You keep talking and I'm listening.
So once I'm done with that, I just let it dry before putting our coffee table back up. The other major rug, or like really dirty rug in a high traffic area, is this rug that is in our kitchen. So what I do first is vacuum up all of the dog hair and dirt that is on the rug before I shampoo.
I have some hidden love for you, baby. I'm done, I'm just done. Because I'm way too passive aggressive for you, babe. I know that I can be too faced, but I won't feel like you do, babe. You know I'm sorry, I shouldn't talk about mistakes. It's not like you'll get a retake. I'll never feel like you do, babe. Even if I try to, even if I try to, even if I try to, I'll never feel like you do. Yeah. I know you think we're good together. Every time I see your happy face, I wanna tell you to just leave me alone. Ooh. Take a hint, don't be so selfish. I'm trying to make it easy, point you in the right direction, yeah. Could you stay away from me? 'Cause if you go to heaven, then
So after quickly taking care of the rugs and vacuuming it, then you just kind of disconnect that bottom canister part. And typically every time I do this, the water is pure black and dirty, but sometimes that makes me feel a little bit good because I'm like, look how good I got it cleaned up. Because you have to look at the positive, right?
it's not like you get a retake. I'll never feel like you do, babe. Even if I try to, even if I try to.
When you take off the front piece of it, that's where it just collects all of the dirt and dust. And for me, dog hair, with my old rug, it would also like pull fibers off of the rug. So that's where all of that would be.
Because I'm way too passive aggressive for you, babe. I know that I can be too faced, but I won't feel like you do, babe. You know I'm sorry, I shouldn't talk about mistakes. It's not like you get a retake. I'll never feel like you do, babe.
So once I'm done with that, I headed back over to the dishes. I actually put a bunch of soap in the crock pot and let it sit for a while just to help like loosen up all of the queso that was stuck on the sides. So once I'm finally done with that, then the dishes have run their full cycle and then I'll just unload the dishwasher. But I wanted to go ahead and answer a question that I received because I have actually gotten this type of question throughout the time I've been on YouTube multiple times. And the question revolves around having the energy to clean, one, with depression, or two, if you have some type of condition or you have a temporary injury and you just don't have the energy to get up and clean. And because of that, it's also making you depressed. I know that you probably watch a lot of these cleaning videos, or a lot of these cleaning videos are out here and they are sped up, and within 30 minutes you are getting like hours and hours of cleaning into that short time span. So I could talk about this for a long time, but I'm going to try and sum it up as best I can. The first thing that I kind of want to talk about is dealing with depression in general, because with depression, it affects your body and it affects your energy levels and it affects your ability to, sometimes get up and clean your house. Now, with depression, there are just some things that we can't control, which could be the amount of neurotransmitters in our brain maybe causing a chemical imbalance and impacting our mood. An extremely difficult time in our life, such as grief or divorce or a life-changing event. Now, there are definitely instances where, I would say that there is nothing wrong with seeking professional help. There's a lot of free services out there. And especially if you are, experiencing something, there's absolutely nothing wrong with getting help. Now, I will just throw in a disclaimer. I'm not a doctor or a medical professional or psychiatrist or anything like that, but I did deal with manic depression growing up. So throughout my whole childhood, while most kids were on like ADHD medicine, I was on antidepressants for probably almost 10 years. Whenever I decided to no longer take them, when I was probably between 19 and 20 years old. Will say some of the things that helped me kind of overcome, that depression was, is always talking to someone, like figuring out what is stemming the depression and then working on things that will ultimately make you feel better. So like I said, there's some things that you can't control, but there are some things that you can. And one of the number one things that helped me was exercising, was actually getting up and physically moving my body. At the time when I first started an exercise routine, I didn't know that it was actually helping my depression until much later on. And I have consistently been into health and fitness for the mental purposes of it, also for the physical purposes, but for the mental aspect of it mainly. When you stay on a consistent schedule, it actually releases endorphins and some of those neurotransmitters in your brain that can help fight off the depression. Second thing is that if you cannot exercise, like, this person said they have a broken ankle and there is just a time frame in their life where they are having trouble actually getting up and moving, then some of the things that you can control are like healthy eating. Now, I know that a lot of times we just think about diet and exercise as a form to like physically look good, but I can just tell you the impacts that it has on your brain can significantly alter your mood. Aside from diet and exercise, the third thing for me was self-development. And what I mean by that is when you have a habit of constantly telling yourself you can't do that, or you can't clean that, or you're not as good as this person, or nobody likes you, and so forth, that it takes a really, really long time to start like killing those messages that you're telling yourself and start disbelieving all of those things that you're saying that are untrue and turning your mind around to the positive. Now, I know that misery loves company, but try your hardest to get out of thinking negative thoughts, listening to negative music, surrounding yourself with a bunch of other people who are depressed, because you need to pull yourself out of it and you can truly start changing your mindset and thinking better, thinking that you can by listening to positive podcasts, reading self-help, self-development books, finding really inspiring people and continuing to listen and believe what they say. The next thing is to continually engage in new learning. Like reading a new book or learning a new skill, it has a positive impact on your overall brain. And lastly, always practice gratitude. And I've said this quote before by Maya Angelou: if you don't like something, change it. If you can't change it, then change your attitude. And I think that quote is just so powerful because we can't control every situation that goes on in our life, and we can't control every single circumstance that happens. And now I am so sorry that I cannot tell you how to clean your house with a broken leg. And I am so sorry that that happened. And the good thing is that some of these situations are temporary, and just know that it is just a pain point that you have to get through, and that it'll pass. And we just, hopefully can look at it with a different perspective. And hopefully that some of those tips that I gave you about the depression that it may be causing were helpful.
When I call her up to say I'm in town, I get a notion that we both walk the same ground. Been traveling all over, searching far and away for a sign to lead me straight. We walk together down the streets of our home. It's been forever, a long time that I've been gone. The feelings come easy as we start a new day, and I know what I should say. I love you from my beating heart.
Another thing is that we underestimate the ability to ask for help. I took a negotiating course in college, and the one thing that I think I remember out of all of college was that my negotiating professor said that the pay gap versus women and men, I don't know if it's still valid, that it's women earn 77 cents to every man's dollar. And one of the things that he had said was that women don't ask. We tend to settle, and we really don't fight for or ask. We think that we can do everything, and we think that everything is just okay, but we don't ask. So, for the one bit of thing that I remember, I hope that you know that it is okay to ask for help. So I'm asking my kids for help. I ask my husband to help sometimes. I don't do it all by myself. I've mentioned that I've had a maid before. After I had Savannah, I just could not do it. And, there's nothing wrong with that.
That you had so many things to say, but no words to explain. Another time and place would ease away the pain. I love you.
So before I actually got started in this room, I think I took a lunch break and I kind of chilled out for a little bit. Yes, it's like the middle of the day. It's probably 3 o'clock and we are still in our pajamas. That's just how Sundays sometimes go for us, but our goal is to get everything picked up today. So continuing my Q&A from last week, a couple more questions that I got from my Instagram are, what does your husband do for work? So he works for a natural gas company. He's an operations lead and manages the crew who go out and fix the gas lines and gas leaks. Do I get help deep cleaning from my kids? Sometimes they try, but most of the time I do it myself, but I would ask for help if I ever got to the point where I couldn't handle it. When was I born? I was born on December 28th, so my birthday is coming up here pretty soon. I think we're just going out to dinner or something like that. Do I get help editing with all of the stuff? So I did hire my sister. She helps do the rough edit on my videos, and mostly everything else I'm still doing, but definitely trying to outsource more so that I can get more done. I also did a poll asking you guys what you wanted to see more of, or wanted me to talk about more. Lots of cleaning routines. I think routines, schedules, managing time, things like that. So I'll be sure to include some of that more in some of my upcoming videos. But I just wanted to say that I really, really do appreciate and thank you for being here, and thank you for your support. Also, be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, because 2022 is going to be the best year yet. So the final verdict, with including a couple breaks and all of that, was 6,521 steps, 2.73 miles. But I do hope you guys have a Merry Christmas.